In this video, we are going to be spilling the tea on the one thing we see with our successful clients who have manifested their recipe. So stay tuned, you don't.
Hey lovelies, welcome back to Manifestation Sisters community. If you're new here, we are helping you master your mind to manifest your desires. I'm Tia.
And I'm Leah.
And before we jump into the video, we want you to know that if you're feeling called to work with myself and Leah as mindset and manifestation coaches, or you want to explore all of our digital products to help you manifest your desires and step into that next level, you can do so by exploring the links in the description box below. Let's jump straight in.
So one of the biggest things that we've seen with our clients that have manifested their specific person or have manifested a specific person in and they are conforming. The thing that we most see is that they drop the victim state and they step into their power. And there are many ways that you can do this. So when it comes to dropping that victim state and stepping into your power, it's really starting to understand the fact that you are the creator of your reality and everything that has happened in your reality is caused by you. So if it's caused by you, it means that you can change it. It's cause and effect, right? The causes are limiting beliefs, our thinking, the thinking with us thinking that we can't get what we want or things don't work out for us, all the limiting stories and narratives that we've played. But then when we become conscious, we start to change those limiting stories and those assumptions and we start to step into our power. And that's when things can really start to shift and change.
Yeah, because so often than not, if we look at point A to B, point A being in the victim state and point B being stepping into your power, getting what it is that you want, there's a certain set of patterns, limitations, perceptions that we see as coaches on repeat. Like not getting what it is I want, assuming rejection, assuming betrayal, assuming that relationships don't work out. When you adopt that set of limitations, 3D reality has to reflect that back to you. There's not like a universal God in the sky that's like, no, that's going to be bad for you, we won't let that manifest. You are your God. You are the creator of your reality. We have at our fingertips the power to be the power of our universe. And that's one thing that a lot of people forget. They forget that the conversations that they're having with themselves are not private. We are always, and that's not to make you scared of your thoughts, that's to empower you. We are always choosing our reality based upon the narratives, perceptions, and the truth that we choose to saturate internally. So when it comes to dropping your victim state, it's about understanding, like Leah said, you are the operant power and you always have a choice, even if it doesn't feel like it. You always have a choice of the narratives, the perceptions and the assumptions that you choose to play.
Yes, exactly. So once we start to change those limiting thoughts and those assumptions, which are the causes of the conditions in our life and the 3D circumstances, when we start to change them, we can have a different effect.
Exactly.
You know, we can start to have a more positive effect and different things start to show up in our reality based on us now stepping into our power. So that's a really good thing that we start to see with our clients that manifest a specific person, is that they just claim their power again. And there's many ways that they kind of do this. So as a branch to this, there are simultaneous things that we see our clients doing that really, you know, get them the success. And it's about focusing on yourself. We said it many times in other videos, it's really key to focus on yourself. And some people are like, well, how do I focus on myself? I don't know what that looks like. Well, focus on yourself would look like you playing favourable stories. You having a good self-concept, having a good foundation of self-concept for yourself and rewiring the limited stories that you've told about yourself in relation to your love life and the assumptions and stories you've held about your specific person, because they're just an actor in your movie, right? You're always the one assigning the roles. So when you can really start to build a good self-concept in yourself and focus more on yourself, and then focus a little bit on the other assumptions about your specific person and how they show up for you, you know, it's a really good thing about focusing yourself in this way. And there are other ways to focus on yourself, like you would be living your life, enjoying your life, having hobbies, having goals. Like you would be in an embodiment of a person that is already having this experience and being in a relationship already, and how you would think from that version of you. And that's really how you focus on yourself. You start to fulfill your own life, you be your own sense of self, you be your own source, and knowing that the other people in your life add to that already happiness.
Yeah, you just touched on something that I think will really home in the point that we're making when it comes to focusing on yourself. Because when we say focusing on yourself, you're like, oh, yeah, I've heard that so many times. But what Leah just said is you are the source. You are the source, you are the creator of your life. So with the element of knowing that you are source comes from you being that source. You essentially being the version of you that has that which you want. And through doing the different practices that Leah said, of focusing on yourself, you're essentially reclaiming your power back from the victim state, not being the it's happening to me version, but it's coming through me and from me version. And what that essentially looks like is you knowing and having the conscious awareness of there are things that you can do in each moment of choosing and reclaiming your power. And that's like the number one thing that we always see of when it comes to you knowing that you are the source. It comes from not giving your power away. It comes from there are 3D circumstances happening, but you don't have to essentially make that mean anything about you. You can essentially bring it always back to self and be the source of the happiness, the health, the success, the love, the SP that you want to experience through making a couple shifts in your day-to-day life through your thinking and being state. And I think when you recognize that, you no longer think there's someone outside doing things to you. You no longer think that you're stuck and love just doesn't work out for you, or it's just not meant to be. We've heard that so many times.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just not meant to be. No, you understand that you're the source, you're the creator, and there are things and shifts you need to make. And it's one of my favorite things to do to help my clients shift back into their power. It's a beautiful process that you see of when someone is point A struggling to point B of like knowing their power, reclaiming their power, focusing on themselves, giving themselves everything they need. And in turn of doing that, they get the reflections back from who they are being.
Yeah, because they've claimed their energy, they've clawed their energy back to themselves. You know, so they're no longer outwardly focused, they're more focused on themselves and who they are and how amazing they are. And you like take the SP off the pedestal.
Exactly.
Because, you know, sometimes on the journey when you're manifesting your specific person, you see them so much outside of you and so above you. It's only because that's come from a low sense of self, a low self-concept. But when you start working on the self-concept and having favourable stories about you and actually seeing that why this person would be lucky to be in your life and having favourable assumptions about them and stories as well, you can take them off the pedestal because there's not room for two people on the pedestal in your reality. They can be on their own pedestal and theirs, but in your reality, you're the only one on the pedestal, right? So that's what we see with success with our clients, because they've really taken that power back. They focus more on themselves and building, a more fulfilling life and fulfillment within. And the effect of that must be that they start to feel more fulfillment outside of them, so that the people in their life, and specific person especially, can show up in a new way. You know, because the thing is, like, when we start to focus on ourselves, you know, even if SP is coming in not the version that we want, we don't make it mean rejection. We don't make it mean that we're not getting what we want. Like Tia said, we're focused so much on ourselves and that new internal story, because creation is already finished in the mind. It's created in the mind first, and we know there are infinite versions and realities existing. We're selecting the one that we want. So even if they're coming in unfavourably, we say, no, that's not the version that I want. I keep persisting in who I am and who I am in my sense of self and my own self-worth, knowing that I deserve this, I'm good enough to have this, and this is who I am, and this is how people show up for me. It allows people to come in a new, different way, because now you've assigned them as a different role in your reality, so they must conform to that. They must match your new self-concept. They must confirm the new change within you.
Exactly. So watching this video, we want you to think about what state you're currently in. Are you in the victim state? Are you assuming and perceiving your reality from the lens of this is happening to me, I'm not in control, things are not working out for me, love is hard, this person's always showing up in that way, and living from that story? Or have you reclaimed your power back as the operant power, knowing that you are the source and everything is coming from you? In order to get that change, you must be the change that you wish to experience by putting the focus back on yourself, by reclaiming your power, by changing the narratives, the stories and the assumptions that you assume to be true and that you're claiming as your truth internally. That's the shift. One doesn't get what they want, the other does. And you've got to consciously make a decision within a conviction of what side of the spectrum that you want to sit on, and that will decide the reflections that you get back in your 3D reality.
Yes, and lastly, I just want to bring attention to the fact that you don't have to be perfect in order to manifest your specific person. It's a dance, it's a journey, and our clients will still have their down days, will still have days where they might be plugged into what's going on in the 3D, but it comes back again to taking your power back. You know, to remind yourself of the fact that you are the creator of your reality, that everyone is you pushed out, that you are the open power, no one has free will in your reality, and you're the one that's really in control. of assigning all these roles. And even if you have these moments of doubts or thinking like, you know, is this really going to happen, you catch yourself and you're like, no, actually this is happening because I claim my power now, and despite what's going on in my 3D, I know it's old and I know that my SP is off conforming, and they're going to come up and show up for me because that's what I decide for myself, because this is who I am now experiencing this thing, and that's what reflects in my reality. So you can have those moments of those days where, you know, you're having emotions and things like that. We are human, we all go through it, but it's just where you choose to dominantly dwell and where you choose to have your power and where you choose to own that power on a moment-to-moment basis.
So yeah, if you're watching this video and you're like, I am ready to fucking reclaim my power, I'm ready to be the operant power, decide, choose, embody that inner conviction of what I am choosing for myself, then we are your girls. If you need help doing that, that's exactly what we do, and you can find out more by clicking the link in our description box below. And I think at this point it's a great point to wrap up the video, and we just want to thank you for subscribing, thank you for liking, commenting, because we literally see it all. And with that being said, guys, we'll see you in the next video.